For about the past, I don't know, 2 weeks maybe, I've seen a lot of black celebrities and media personalities and so-called journalists make it their business to try to shame and denigrate and shun and insult the intelligence of black men because they don't want to vote for Kamala Harris. They are actively out here villainizing black men for not wanting to vote for Kamala Harris. And I said it before and I will say it again. They think they own us. They think they own our fucking vote. They want us to believe that we have some sort of obligation to them, that when it's right for them, we should play identity politics and vote for her because she's black. And now they're pushing the narrative that we're dumb, that we're uneducated, we're misinformed, we don't know what the fuck's going on. And the crazy thing about it is, it's the complete opposite. The people who are running away from Kamala Harris are the people who are informing themselves, who are researching, that actually know what the fuck is going on and just not letting themselves be told any goddamn thing. That's the reality of the situation. So, you know, it's astonishing to me to see it though, where you have these people, they sending out these black women and these bootlicking ass men, right? The Van Joneses, the Bakari Sellers, the Roland Martins, right? The DL Hugleys, even Plies, and it's a whole bunch of them who are trying to shame black men for thinking for themselves, because that's all they doing. We're thinking for ourselves. They're just like when a slave owner didn't want you to learn how to read. Because once you learn how to read, you have knowledge, and knowledge is power. And that's the problem. No, watch MSNBC. Don't do no thinking. Let us tell you what to think. Huh? Don't you want to see a black woman president? Don't you want to see somebody who belonged to a sorority? Don't you want to see a black woman get sworn in by a black woman on Martin Luther King's birthday? A whole bunch of token shit that don't mean a goddamn thing. That's what they want us to vote for. Y'all out your motherfucking minds, man. I was listening to Ricky Smiley. Ricky Smiley talking about in regards to black men, they not doing the right research. What? Who the fuck you talking to, Ricky Smiley? They not doing the right research. So because we're thinking for ourselves, we're not doing the right research. We're supposed to listen to you. That's the right research. And we're going to just keep seeing more and more of this shit. Joy Reid telling black people, you're going to look weird. We in the 6th grade? Don't nobody give a fuck about looking weird. We worrying about the issues, the economy, our communities, our children, our futures.
Hey guys, welcome back to At Liminal Period. It's your girl, Chun-Li Shoddy. Earlier in the day, I shared a video with you guys where Stephen A. Smith was calling out Kamala Harris for hiding from the press and media, and he had quite a few questions for her regarding her flip-flopping perspective on policies. And despite him acknowledging those two facts, he shared with us that he was still going to be voting for Kamala Harris at the end of the day. In that video, I shared with you guys that I think a lot of people are throwing out common sense and logic and just siding with identity politics and their emotions, Stephen A. Smith being one of them. And in today's conversation, I actually have a second example for you guys. In today's video, I will be sharing a clip from the Anton Daniels channel, and I'll be including the full conversation in the description box down below. But in this video, he's calling out someone else for, again, not understanding where Kamala Harris stands on policies, but still going to be voting for her at the end of the day. So without further ado, let's get into it.
What are the reasons you're backing Kamala? What policies do you agree with?
So, my first thought process is I would want to make sure that I have an understanding, or obviously I'm new to this and on this platform and reading in the audience, but I do want to have an understanding that the administration signs in the bills and they do specific executive orders in regards to policies and laws, but the people that have these conversations and do the work is Congress. So I understand that we like to say Kamala and Biden and Trump, but I don't view it as that. So I just want to put that out there. I go based on the Congress and people that do that type of work. But one reason that I would support and vote for Kamala outside of the policy when I get to it is Trump is stating that he wants to be a dictator. So I don't want a form of government where one person is just running the country or wanting to get rid of the Constitution, which the country was founded on. So, I mean, that is a big reason why I would want to make sure that I'm voting for the other candidate, because I don't want that to happen to democracy, because I live and work within the democracy as being an elected official. But outside of that, I respect the fact of her encouragement or platform of having diversity and equal representation, meaning we need to get more Black and brown people elected to office. I care.
Okay, so the first whole half of whatever the hell she was saying for the first minute was just straight up fluff. Fluff. She said a whole bunch of nothing, and now the meat of it is just DEI, just representation.
About the fact of her health care, because Black women die at a high rate when it comes to medical services. I also want women's rights. I shouldn't have to sit here and fight for my rights or my daughter's rights to be able to, if they choose to have an abortion, if something's wrong with the child. These are just little things.
Like, what does she think Kamala can do for abortions? If the Democrats could or wanted to codify Roe v. Wade and legalize abortion at a federal level, they would have done that. Okay, it was overturned back to the states. It is not illegal, like a lot of people like to say for some reason, maybe in certain states, but no, it is just now at a state by state cases. So I don't even understand, like, out of all the reasons that she was naming, like, abortion would be the number one reason that I hear most people list, and it's not even a real reason. But let's get back into it.
Those are things that I feel I want to see replicated in our country, and that's not what the other side has on their platform.
This is insane. This is absolutely insane. She started off her narrative about what it is that she didn't like about Trump again. And usually what I've come to conclude is that most people do that because she doesn't have policy. Even the talking points that dictator, even the talking points that she has are general. They're not even real policy. So number one, Trump never said that he wanted to remove abortion in general. And I'm not even an abortion supporter, right? What he said was it should go back into the states. The states specifically should be the ones to determine what happens on an individual state level, and it should not be in the hands of the federal government in the first place, okay?
Why do people want the federal government involved so much on our day-to-day life anyways?
So that's number one. So all of this fear mongering when it comes to that whole women's rights things, that's trash. Number two, we got the same old talking points when it came to Obama, when it came to the people that's happening on a local level in all of these cities. This diversity, equity, and inclusion shit gotta die. It gotta die.
So
look, I want the best person for the job.
States to regulate abortion. That means if you're not in a state that is for allowing someone to have a right to exercise in their body, then you're fucked up. So correct. I want it to be federal, because then there is overseer on these rights. I'm not going to be hopping and jumping from each state that is aligning with what I believe in just because we want to give states certain rights. The Constitution created rights for the states, but we have a federal government that needs to oversee states. So it's not adding up, because you're going to move to a state if they heavy on policing, right, and they giving police immunity over in Texas.
Hold on, don't skip around. Let's stay on this abortion.
To North Carolina and state of North Carolina and not be in Texas because we give so much governance over the state. No, I don't agree with that.
Well, listen, here's the beautiful thing. The first thing that y'all can do is close y'all legs.
Anton, slow down the chat.
No, I'm not slowing down the chat. The first thing that women can do, because y'all so concerned with the government playing a role in what it is that you got going on as far as whether or not you can have a child or not, is close your legs and marry before you carry.
So do you automatically assume that a woman gets an abortion because she doesn't want to have the baby? Or what about if the baby has a disability inside?
I'm not sure why that's always an issue that people on the left or progressive like to bring up, because women getting abortions because the fetus might have a disability or grape or incest or because of SA, that is a minority percentage of the time. So again, to make that your entire argument and your talking point is just crazy to me.
There are exceptions that both
Yeah.
sides. There are exceptions that both sides agree on.
But they
Late
don't
term,
agree. They
rape,
don't agree on it.
incest,
They say
Everyone
disabilities.
agrees.
That is not even
However,
a
so I'm saying, like, I hear you, but you have to speak the facts on what the other side said.
I am
You
speaking the
want a
facts.
blanket abortion, don't care if you slept with your cousin or if you were hard.
I just literally said rape, incest, disabilities, and late term carrying. These are things that they agree with on both sides. Maybe not the
Not
late
on
term
all
carrying.
state levels. Look up Mark Roberson.
Listen. From Trump's perspective and from Kamala's perspective, on both sides, they don't disagree with those three talking points: rape, incest, and late term carrying, especially when it comes to disabilities. Okay.
They do on state levels. There are state governors or people that's running. Mark Robinson for the state of North Carolina is currently trying to run for the governor, and he wants to do a blanket across the state of North Carolina. No abortion.
Well, then that means that the voters on a local level
But that's North
then should be
Carolina.
able to determine whether or not they want him as their governor. Because the local election is if not more important than who it is that you have on a national level. But the point,
There are literally states that outlaw abortion completely, and then there are states like Colorado, Nevada, New York, where you can have a late-term abortion. You can have it up until the moment where the baby is about to exit. If you guys haven't had a chance to check out those conversations I've had already, please do go check them out. Yes, currently is dependent on a state-by-state basis, and that's how it should be. That's why it's important for you to make your perspective and your ideas known at a local level. Like she said, she's a locally elected official, so how do you not understand that?
the fact of the matter is, keep your legs closed. That's number one. And because y'all arguing on something that you can control.
So I'm going to go ahead and end the video here, but I completely agree with Anton. I don't understand why abortion rights is something that a lot of people are going to be basing this election on, because it comes up every 4 years. And again, it's not something that Kamala or the Democrats can legalize or would want to, because if they wanted to, they would have, okay? And secondly, it is completely preventable. So at the end of the day, take some self-accountability, be responsible for your own life and choices, and don't make the rest of us pay for it. I've enjoyed this conversation. I hope you guys did too. If you guys did, please do like, share, and subscribe. I would really appreciate it, and I look forward to speaking with you guys next time. Bye.